Choosing a life partner, it's one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make, right? But the advice we always hear? It's usually so vague, and honestly, it can be kind of dangerous. So today, we're going to cut through all that noise. We're going to build a real solid framework for making this choice, and it's all based on 4 foundational pillars.
Okay, so let's just dive right in. We've all heard this a million times, right? Oh, just find someone you can talk to, or make sure they're good to you. And yeah, on the surface, that sounds like perfectly good advice. But here's the hidden danger, and it's a big one. Think about it. A smooth-talking player, they can be an amazing conversationalist. And someone can be nice to you, sure. But what does that really tell you about their character? About their sense of responsibility when things get tough? It tells you basically nothing. This advice, it's just not enough, not even close.
So here's the game plan for today. First, we're going to break down these common mistakes. Then, we'll build up a way stronger foundation with our 4 pillars: his core character, actions over words, his family's blueprint, and, this one's huge, your own foundation. We'll wrap up with the final choice. Let's get into it.
All right, first up, the common mistakes. And we're starting here for a really important reason. Following that kind of shallow advice, it doesn't just waste your time. It can set you on a path to some serious heartbreak. It's all focused on the temporary fun of dating, not the permanent bedrock foundation of a real partnership.
So that leaves us with a pretty big question, doesn't it? If a player can be a great talker and treat you super well in the short term, what actually matters for the long haul? For marriage, what should you really be looking for? Well, the answer starts with our very first pillar.
And here we are, Pillar 1, his core character. Look, this goes so much deeper than just finding a nice guy. We're talking about his fundamental nature. What's his actual outlook on life? What's his grand vision for the future? And probably the most important part, where do you fit into that picture?
And this really breaks it down into 2 totally different paths. On one side, you've got the man with a grand vision, a man of solid character. He's the one who puts you first, no matter what. He genuinely wants to see you become a light. He helps you shine and encourages you to be exactly who you are. But on the other side, you've got the controlling man. He's coming from a place of insecurity and selfishness. He's not trying to build you up, he's trying to control you, to pull you down into this black abyss. The difference is just night and day.
Okay, that leads us perfectly into our second pillar, actions over words. Because let's be honest, it is so easy to get swept away by big promises about the future, right? But what really truly matters is the reality of who this person is and what they are doing, right now, today.
So, the key here is to look for actual tangible evidence. You got to ask yourself, does he have drive? Does he actually do things or just talk a big game? When stuff gets hard, how does he handle it? Does he show resilience? Does he have the smarts to solve problems? And, just as important, the strength of character to follow through. These are the things that build a life together, not a bunch of empty words about some mansion he's going to buy you someday.
And this next line, wow, this is one to write down. Mature marriage is about selection, not coaching. You just can't, and you really shouldn't, go into a partnership thinking you're going to change someone's core programming. It doesn't work. All the hard work, the real work, is in choosing the right person from the get-go, not trying to play coach and fix the wrong one for years and years.
Okay, moving on to pillar 3. And guys, this is one that people underestimate all the time, his family's blueprint. You know that old saying, right? It is so true. When you marry a person, you are in a very real way marrying their whole family. You're marrying the patterns, the dynamics, the whole shebang they grew up with.
And this proverb just nails it. Dragons beget dragons, phoenixes beget phoenixes. A mouse's son will know how to dig holes. Basically, the family someone comes from is a powerful, powerful blueprint for how they'll act. It shapes their values, how they communicate, how they handle fights, everything. Now, it's not a 100% guarantee, of course, but those patterns learned in childhood, they are incredibly hard to break.
So, what are the red flags here? You really need to be aware of these warning signs. An unreasonable, stubborn father, a domineering, sharp-tongued mother, or maybe just a general vibe of selfishness or greed in the family. Here's the thing. Those aren't just their problems. If you marry into that, those dynamics, they are absolutely going to become your reality too.
And please, please do not make this mistake. Don't think you can be the hero who's going to swoop in and save someone from their toxic family. It almost never works. More often than not, that path just leads to a lifetime of pain for you.
Every single milestone, getting married, having a baby, raising kids, it all becomes a battlefield, and you're just stuck in the middle of endless drama and misery.
Which brings us to our fourth and final pillar. And honestly, this might be the most important one of all, because it's the foundation for everything else. We're turning the camera around and focusing inward. Pillar 4, your own foundation. Because here's the absolute truth. Before you can even begin to accurately judge someone else's character, their actions, or their family, you have got to become a solid, whole person yourself first. So what's the single most important asset you bring to any relationship? It's you. It's your strength, your independence, your sense of who you are. That right there is the absolute non-negotiable prerequisite for making a healthy choice.
Now, I know the phrase bargaining chips can sound a little cold, a bit transactional, but let's reframe that. All it really means is that your own capabilities, your resources, your self-worth, they determine the kind of choices you have available to you. It's simple. The stronger your own foundation is, the better your options will be. It means you get to choose a partner from a place of want, not from a place of desperate need.
So how do you build up this personal capital? Well, it's not really about money. It's about focusing on your education. It's about developing actual skills and abilities that you can rely on. It's about working on your own character, becoming the person you want to be. And it's about enriching your own spirit, your inner world. That's how you build a foundation so rock solid that you don't need someone else to complete you. You're already whole. And this is what it's all about. This is the ultimate goal. Real, true confidence isn't some fantasy where you never get your heart broken. No way. It's knowing that even if you do get hurt, you have the strength, you have the resources, and you have the courage to walk away from a bad situation and choose again. That freedom, that is the greatest power you can ever have.
So here we are. We've built ourselves up, we've learned how to look at others through these 4 pillars, and now we're at the final choice. And I think the real goal here is to totally reframe what we're even looking for. This isn't just about finding happiness. It's about finding a partner in growth. So I'm going to leave you with this one question. A life partner. That's the person you're going to face challenges with, learn with, evolve with. The right person doesn't just make you happy in the moment. They inspire you, they push you to become an even better version of yourself tomorrow. So the question is, who will you choose to grow with?